everyone. It's Friday, March 19th, 2021. This is your Commonwealth Club Week in Review. Hear what you missed this week and what we've got lined up for you next week. I'm Patty T. from the club's Member and Guest Services Department, and I'll be your host for today's overview. Thanks for joining us. We've had a lot of good programs this week, so let's get started. This past Monday, March 15th, opened the week with Live from the Archives. In celebration of Women's History Month, it was Launching Women into Science and Tech with astronaut Mae Jemison.
You talk about the women's movement, you talk about the civil rights movement, you talk about space exploration. There was this incredible creativity, and I remember being enlivened by that.
Tuesday at 9 a.m. was Andy Slavitt, Senior Advisor to the White House COVID-19 Response Team, talking with Mark Zitter on the pandemic endgame, looking back and looking forward.
We had to do a lot of blocking and tackling to move things forward, including accelerating production, opening up mass vaccination sites, distributing directly into retail pharmacies, bringing thousands of people out from FEMA and the DoD to start vaccinating people. We basically just started treating this like a 24/7 emergency.
Tuesday at noon was A Novel Approach to China, a unique discussion on U.S.-China relations with Orville Schell and his longtime friend, Ambassador Winston Lord.
We ought to treat this as a Sputnik moment to get our own act together. Focus on our running faster than just slowing China down.
Who exactly controls the space behind your airplane seat, your reclining self, or the squished laptop user seated behind you? At 3 p.m. Tuesday, law professors Michael Heller and James Salzman discuss the hidden set of rules that reveal how things become mine.
Ownership is up for grabs. It's always up for grabs. There is no natural correct answer for who gets what.
Wednesday, March 17th was a busy day with 5 programs. Starting at 9 a.m., it was Vaccinate America, 30 minutes with Dr. Bashara Shukar, vaccinations coordinator for the White House COVID response team.
So when you think about how we've designed the strategy around vaccinations, it really boils down to 3 big buckets of work. It's about making sure there's more vaccines, making sure there are more vaccinators across the country, and making sure there are more places for people to get vaccinated.
Immediately following at 9:30, Dr. Kristen Bibbins Domingo of UCSF was in conversation discussing the road ahead for vaccination equity in all communities.
If we're really going to get to the point where we have the virus under control, we can't ignore the fact that the virus has been sitting in certain communities much more than others.
Wednesday at noon, it was Call to Unite. Longtime chairman of the Special Olympics, Tim Shriver, shared Voices of Hope and Awakening.
You think about a tragedy that takes place in a confined space, whether it's a tornado or a shooting. In those moments, nobody cares what your politics are. We just care that we'll help our neighbors dig out of rubble, and human beings are remarkable that way.
At 3 p.m., from the earliest days of DNA editing, author Walter Isaacson unpacks a thrilling detective tale on the origins of life in gene editing and the future of humans.
The coronavirus pandemic made me realize, these molecules are the new microchip. We have to learn how to program them.
At 6 p.m. Wednesday, it was Help from Abroad, on the flow of support U.S. hospitals have been receiving from, of all places, China.
Now, in the midst of the pandemic, I'm glad to be here with all of you to cover this good news story about how China-based donors and their international partners have really helped U.S. hospitals fight this pandemic.
Moving to Thursday the 18th at 9:30 a.m., it was Looking Ahead on the future of the Bay Area's tech economy after the pandemic.
Unequivocally, there's a lot of office downsizing that's going on right now. This time a year ago, we were looking at about a 3% office vacancy rate. And now we're looking at almost 20% office vacancy rate. We have the equivalent of 10 plus Salesforce towers on the market right now.
At noon, it's Michelle Meow on the non-disclosures corporate giants use to prevent reporting discrimination in the workplace.
Ultimately, it's all about avoiding accountability. If no one knows that something is going on, the company doesn't have to do anything to address it.
It was Silicon Valley Reads at 3 p.m. on Thursday, connecting with nature in a pandemic.
When COVID broke out, it was the beginning of spring migration. The air was cleaner, there were fewer people out, and this is the question that we got most at Audubon. Are there more birds this year?
We were joined again at 4 p.m. with Michelle Meow, Women Leaders and the Future of Politics.
I think we need to teach our young children, particularly our daughters, that ambition is not a dirty word and that it's okay to be ambitious and that you are still a woman and you can still be feminine and you can still be strong and you can still be loving, all while being ambitious.
Friday, March 19th at 12 noon, Don Lemon and Valerie Jarrett completed the week discussing a better, more equal future for all Americans.
When I saw the video, I write about it in the book, Valerie, I closed my door and I began to cry. People were calling me, asking me, what should I do? And many of my white friends, most of them, I decided to put it into words on a book so that I could help more people than just my few friends and acquaintances who were reaching out to me.
Help the club continue to provide robust, diverse, and informative programming. An annual or monthly membership to the club can cost as little as $10 a month and ensures you have access to every program we produce. Visit commonwealthclub.org/membership for details. Here's what the club has lined up for you next week. Monday, March 22nd, we start the week with Live from the Archives in celebration of Women's History Month. It's an invigorating and honest conversation with world leader and human rights activist, Ambassador Samantha Power. On Tuesday the 23rd at 6 p.m., Kim Scott and Trier Bryant transform the modern office. Listen in as they reimagine workplace settings to create more just and humane company environments in Just Work. On Wednesday the 24th at 10 a.m., it's Mark Bittman discussing animal mineral junk. Mark offers a panoramic view of the story of industrialized foods and explains how we can rescue ourselves from this modern wrong turn. Wednesday at noon, Inform hosts 1 year later the COVID Tracking Project and the Power of Data with Alexis Madrigal. At 6 p.m., Mayor Willie Brown has been at the center of California politics, government, and civic life for more than 5 decades. Come hear his unabashed thoughts on where we're headed in his annual Commonwealth Club lecture. Thursday the 25th starts at 10 a.m. with the Healthy Society series, 10,000 a day turns 65 in America, the rise of family caregivers of the elderly. On Thursday's noon program, Michelle Meow hosts Reimagining Public Safety with Kat Brooks and James Birch. Amid a nationwide call to reimagine policing in America's cities, Oakland, California has moved ahead with plans to change its public safety funding and performance. At 3 p.m., it's Matthew Lacombe on the NRA, gun owners, and politics. 7 p.m. Thursday, Inform ends the day and our programming week with Rob Kenner and Davey D on the life and times of Nipsey Hussle. We're always adding new programs. Please look at commonwealthclub.org/online for the most current schedule. Have a great weekend, everyone. If you haven't already, please consider becoming a member of the club. A membership gets you exclusive discounts and access to special programs, all while knowing your contributions directly support our many public programs and civic initiatives. Visit commonwealthclub.org/special for discounted rates on memberships. Thanks again for your support and for listening. We'll have another Week in Review for you next Friday.